Hey, welcome YouTubers. Joe Holbrook here with Cloud Bursting. I'm here to go through the top 5 Bitcoin fallacies. These are typically the top 5 that I usually run into, questions I may get, things that people think or they read about or just take out of context. So let's go ahead and dive into what we'll cover. So let's talk about what is a fallacy first off. We'll then go through the top 5 BTC fallacies, and then we'll touch briefly on Bitcoin's performance. Bitcoin has been through a tear lately. I am telling you, this keeps up, I might get a nice vacation this year. So, with that said, Joe Holbrook with Cloud Bursting, certified Bitcoin professional, cloud extraordinaire, and I love Dash, Ethereum, Ripple, and Bitcoin, and also a few others as well. So, quick disclosure, I am a cryptocurrency investor. So, again, just realize I'm just giving you my opinion, nothing more. Take it however you want. I do hope that this little 20-minute discussion helps you with your Bitcoin trading and makes you feel more comfortable, especially if you're new to cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin. Great opportunity right here. Ethereum is another great example of what seems to be going to the moon here in the near future. So again, my opinion. So I'm not giving advice as far as investments, so don't take it that way. I wish everybody to be successful. So let's go ahead and talk about what a fallacy is. So if you go to dictionary.com, a fallacy is more of a deceptive, misleading, or false notion. And again, as with any other subject matter, there's always going to be a a certain percentage of people that may not understand the technology, which is not nothing wrong with that, to be expected. So I want to cover the what the Bitcoin ones are that I typically run into. I won't read the definition to you, it's there. But let's go ahead and clear up what these fallacies are. So let's talk about Bitcoin fallacy numero uno. So number one, Bitcoin is not secure. So this is a very common concern and one that is a valid concern. As with everything else, Bitcoin runs on a blockchain. Uh, and again, that blockchain again is secure, assuming that the people, the processes in place are secure. Is it possible it could be hacked? Absolutely. But it would take, literally so much resources to overcome the blockchain that it probably wouldn't be effective in most cases. But most of the weaknesses around Bitcoin are going to be around the wallets. So is it possible someone can hack Coinbase? That's the exchange. For those folks that don't know, Coinbase is uh, a cryptocurrency exchange. Is it possible double spend can happen? That is possible. A lot of that has to do with how you secure your Bitcoin as well. Um, Again, so one example that routinely comes up is Mt. Gox. Now, Mt. Gox is an interesting animal in the sense that they were an exchange and they were hacked. A lot of the problems with Mt. Gox was they didn't really follow a lot of the best practices. They were subjected to DDoS attacks and a couple other scenarios as well, all at the same time. And instead of trying to mitigate and stop and react appropriately, things got out of control. And so if you read some of the reports on what happened, it came down to what's called transaction malleability. And that essentially means that this probably never should have taken place in the first place if things were handled appropriately. So that's number one. So Bitcoin can be very secure, assuming that you do what you need to do on your end. And again, I won't cover different types of wallets and all that, the way to store your Bitcoins in this specific training. Excuse me. As far as number two, so anonymous. Bitcoin is anonymous. The answer to that is really no. And if you remember the story or the news back in 2013, where the FBI busted tons of criminals, essentially drug runners and weapons sellers, and for those folks that weren't familiar with Silk Road. Silk Road was essentially a black market, sort of like the deep web, I think was another term that's usually called. So basically, if something that you really shouldn't be buying online or that's illegal, you would go to Silk Road to get it. So again, so the FBI did their investigation along with other organizations as well, and basically was able to aggregate the transactions and essentially bust the criminals. So what essentially happened is that they could aggregate all the BTC transactions in the blockchain and essentially be able to trace the wallet addresses back to Coinbase or All My Coins or whoever you may be using. So again, that's how they were able to determine who was sending what and who was receiving what. So don't think it's anonymous. If you want more privacy, then you need to go and use the proper wallet, but also look at other third-party tools to help secure what you're doing as well. Let's see, Bitcoin fallacy number 3. So, okay, so this is one of my favorites. Bitcoin is a pyramid scheme, essentially. So the answer is no, it's not, because if you think about it, it is a distributed blockchain, and therefore no one at the top. There's no one at the top. This is more everybody. This is more horizontal than vertical, essentially. And there's no one at the top, and so no one really controls Bitcoin, just like it says there. So there is no Bernie Madoff here. So the good part is that your transactions are stored and distributed among the BTC network worldwide. So there isn't like someone bringing in checks and cashing them and paying the depositors with previous depositors' money. That's not going on in this case. Okay, number 4. What is fallacy number 4? Now, a lot of the technical folks still, that understand Bitcoin at a, introductory or modest level, I would say intermediate level, seem to think the Bitcoin protocol requires more nodes to have more integrity, and that is not true. The integrity in the Bitcoin network is actually based on the hashing power. Now, hashing power is, of course, based on the computer equipment that you use in the GPUs, the servers, etc. That's a whole different discussion in itself. The nodes, essentially. And that's essentially what provides the integrity, so the hashing. The stronger the hash, the better the integrity in general. Also note, blockchain transactions are secured with crypto SHA-256. Thank you to the NSA, as I understand. And Bitcoin fallacy number 5. Cinco. So Bitcoin is too expensive to start now. So that's not really true. So to address that one, You don't have to go out and buy a full Bitcoin. You go out and get a partial Bitcoin. So if you went to if you're in the U.S., Coinbase is probably the most popular exchange by volume, at least from what I've been reading. And again, you go spend $1 or $10, $100, or buy half a Bitcoin. You don't have to go out and buy a full Bitcoin at once. And that, if you think about it, if you're going to do this, and what's good about Coinbase is they let you automate this stuff, so you could go ahead and dollar cost average essentially. And especially in a cryptocurrency, this actually seems like it could be a good idea. Because if you think about it, economically, most of the governments are essentially what? They're devaluing their currency. That should help crypto investors down the road. And you could also expect, just like what you saw in China, that when things get really tight, you're going to see a higher drive, probably more than likely, to the cryptocurrencies to avoid the bank theft or the bail-ins and all this crazy stuff that we've already seen in other countries. So this is just my opinion. Don't go out there and sell the farm based on that, but just I want you to think about it. Now, so go out there, buy partial Bitcoin. Bitcoin right now is about $13.40 per Bitcoin. So let's talk about the performance. So this is where it is just really shocking. Between Ethereum and Bitcoin today, especially, they've been on a tear. So Bitcoin is up just in the last day, up $52 or so, and in the last month, it's up about I think $370 somewhere around there in the last 30 days. Probably about right around $300 or $400. I don't recall on top of my head, but it just below 1,000 is where it was. So again, pretty interesting times. Let's go out there and get some Bitcoin, get some Ethereum, get some Dash, get some Ripple, whatever you so choose. So again, I want to thank you for joining. Happy coining. Have a great day. Over and out.